Welcome to another episode of Blooming in Brisbane, and on tonight's episode I visit a lush tropical garden near Virginia. A special guest by the name of Noel Burdette calls in, and also Jill with how to care for secateurs.
Welcome back to Blooming in Brisbane. It's lovely to see you, and it's even lovelier to hear the rain. I know it's been a long time before we've been able to say it, but it's raining. And raining is a great time for us. The garden's getting a drink, but it's time that we can do all the little things that we wait so long to do. Now, since it's raining, it's a great time to grab the fertiliser for your lawns and gardens. Rainwater will help it soak in, and there'll be no or limited burning if you've overindulged in the fertiliser. Always read what it says on the back and follow it to the correct amount. More is not better. So stick to the recommended and fertilise. And always check that you're fertilising the right plant with the right fertiliser. Natives like native fertiliser, azaleas and camellias like their own fertiliser. So just check. And now's the time to race out and do the garden. And while it's raining, we can also do the little jobs of the indoor plants. If they're under a balcony, we can get them and put them outside so they're going to have a good drink in the rain. Do remember to bring them in while towards the end of the day, because you don't want them to burn if the sun comes out, and the sun will come out and burn them if they're indoor plants sitting out. So grab them, put them out for a nice shower, bring them back in, somewhere sheltered where they can drip before you take them back in. Not all indoor plants want to go out in the rain. Your African violets won't like it. So just have a look what you've got. And if it is a plant which would enjoy the rain, like an anthurium or a peace lily, it's a wonderful time to make the most of it. But once you've fertilised, once you've done your watering of your indoor plants, what else is there to do? There's always tools. It's always important to keep the tools in good nick. Now, these mightn't look the very best of pairs, but they are a very good brand, and I've had them for over 30 years, and they've been wonderful. A good quality pair of secateurs. Usually you're able to get spare parts and you can replace them as they break or they're damaged. And when you look at the blade, have a look long, look for big nicks, just in case someone's grabbed them to cut wire or something that shouldn't be cut with secateurs. If the nick or any of the damage can't be taken out with sharpening, then it's best to replace either the blade. If it's a brand where you can't get the replacement blade, then replace the entire tool. And so we're going to have a look at our very old, and I must say well-used, pair of secateurs. Now you can see the dirt and all the gum gathered on there. We've got to try to take that off. A, it makes cutting harder. B, it could be a source of infection. And C, it's bad for the piece of tool. It needs to be clean so it has better movement. Now, I just use a scourer just to do the initial clean. I don't usually use steel wool because steel wool can leave bits of rust and unwanteds on my blade. So I just get the scourer and clean them up with that, just to get rid of any of the excess. This is something you should be doing on a regular basis, the tools, not just when it rains, but I know in Brisbane it's been a long time between drinks. And waiting for this rain is great, but it also gives us a time to look at all the small jobs we haven't gotten to. What we're doing, we're sharpening the top blade that comes down. The blade only needs to be mainly sharpened on one side and you can see the beveled edge, and that's where we're aiming to sharpen. The other side, I'll give it the odd wipe through with the sharpening stone, but that's just to get off any excess that burrs round. And you can see the very fine angle. Now there's an angle just there. If you're unsure where that angle is, or like me need glasses, you can get a pen, draw a line down there in a different colour, not black, and because the Secateurs are black, just so you can see where we're supposed to go back to. Now the stone I'm using is not your old oil stone. Oil stones are great, but I prefer to use a stone I don't have to take the beasties apart for. So this is a diamond stone, and I've had this for years and years, like nearly all my tools. It's great, it's handy, it can fit in the side of my pouch, and it's here. When we're doing this, we're going to start near the top, and we're going to do circular motion and work our way down towards the tip. And we're going to keep repeating this until either A, we can see that we've gotten rid of the Nico pen mark, or B, I can see the blade shining up nicely from where the stone is going. And even with only a few sweeps, I can see where I've been, and the blade is starting to look better. Two schools of thoughts. Circular motions going down, holding it on an angle, or usually with these ones, I just use a straight blade. Straight down, quick, sharp movements are wonderful for if you're using your hedging shears or things like that. And so I can go down with this very rapidly and clean them up. Now unfortunately for these beasties, there is a savage nick out of there. And yes, it probably was wire or something I've cut where I shouldn't have. But if I can't bevel out the nick, these will go and a new set will come in. So we'll go straight down, and for about every 10 or so down here, I'll flick over and I just do a couple of quick swipes down. Now I can still see that nick very prominent. So this is the rest of the time. Just slowly doing this, and it's great to sit out, listen to the birds, listen to the rain. My plants are out getting their drink, and this gives me an opportunity to get everything done, and my tools will be nice and clean. Another piece of equipment I often carry around with me, bacterial wipes, you know, out of a little tin, and you clean between cuttings your blades, just so you don't transfer fungi from one to the other plant. But back to the cleaning, and we'll just whiz through this and show you how it goes.
Stay tuned and learn what it takes to make really great compost, something that everyone needs for their backyards.